Yo, it's Friday night, 9 p.m. sharp. You know what time it is.
NarcoCop and Timmy T hitting you with that Lambo energy.
He's Mike by name, but the streets call NarcoCop. Used to bust dealers, now he's busting long shots. Retired badge, now he's bad with the bets. Octagon fiend, cashing slips, no regrets. Friday night fights, Seki poured on ice. Lambo plays podcast, breaking down the price. Got parlays, KO, subs in round 3. Split decision magic, cash it like a G. Lambo plays, it's a wild parade. Long shots flying, getting that paid. Tim with impressions, Narco's got the locks. Whisper bet of the week, gonna shock your socks. Lambo plays, the odds go cray. Spin that wheel, it's a betting ballet. KO's a B, round 2 or 3. Hit that split, cashing big, LFG. Tim Troiano, lotion in hand. Tennis coach by day, fight fan of the land. Watching WMMA, yeah, you know the drill. Playing with himself, just joking, but still. Impressions fly, Katona in the house. Roses Jr. squeaking, Tim's loud like a mouse. Cornholio vibes, he's stealing the show. Narcos like bruh, but they still go toe to toe. Round 2 chaos, round 3 gold. Split decisions, bets unfold. Side case sipping, parlays lit. Lambo energy, never quit. Lambo plays, it's a wild parade. Long shots flying, getting that paid. Tim with impressions, Narco's got the locks. Whisper bet of the week, gonna shock your socks. Lambo plays, the odds go cray. Spin that wheel, it's a betting ballet. KOSOB, round 2 or 3. Hit that split, cashing big, LFG. NarcoCop, Timmy T, Friday nights, a Lambo plays podcast. Where long shots live large, and splits hit harder. We out. We out. We out.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Lambo Plays Podcast, episode 173, UFC Vegas 118. I'm your host, Mike, along with my co-host, Timothy Troiano. Timothy, I am in the Chicago area, somewhere deep into Chicago here, in the Airbnb. I decided to do this show. I got so many people messaging me. I didn't bring my laptop. I didn't bring anything, honestly. I stole my son's iPad, and I'm like, listen, I got to do a show. The people are asking it. So I'm going to have to take this iPad for the next hour or so, and, you know, you could just sit on the couch and watch a movie or something. But yeah, UFC Vegas 118. I actually think this is episode 174, not 173. I think I goofed that up. But, you know, that comes with the territory. I'm out of my realm here. I don't have my setup. I don't have anything here. I have to use my phone to see the fights. I can't load up templates on the iPad. I don't know why the iPad doesn't support like loading up templates, because I had all the templates. You know, one of the guys that does them for me did them all, and now I can't even load them. It says you're not able to load it. I don't know why. But anyways, let me go over to my chat. That I can do, I think. Maybe not. I can't even load the chat here. Oh, I could load the chat here. Okay. Yes, freaks, got the Arizona treadmill team will be here. We have, man, this is not good here. Hide. I have to do that on every single one. Okay, guys, I'm not going to be able to pull these up. Well, maybe I could. Okay, never mind. Match predictions, NarcoCop, greetings from South Africa. Cape Town, bet only has lines for the main card, so only have a 5-pick parlay. That's weird. Why is that? Elijah Wan's here. Let's effing go. Narco beat KFC. God, I appreciate you, my man. Eric Will is in the house as well. What's up, everybody? We got Mushroom saying, what's up, Narco and Tim? Time to get those Lambos. Azure, always in the house. Thank you for your support, Azure. You are the best. Left 4 Dead says, let's effing go. DA07 is also in the house. Who else do we have here? Oreo Bets, what's up, my man? Even without the setup, I got a shout out my chat. Daz, what's up, my man? I appreciate you. Tristan's also is in here. Hopefully, you guys had a good in person together. Actually, haven't seen him. I have not seen Tim. He's busy working. MMA Tard, what's up? Buster J also in the house. Cole Stein in the house. Craig Crowley in the house. Uh, German is in the house. Rude One also here. Appreciate you, my man. Fireside. Man, I'm just gonna name them all instead of popping these up. Fireside's in here. Pick'em MMA. Blessed by Odds. Narco. Look at Blessed by Odds. I gotta show this, bro. Look at this. Narco from a bald man. You gotta let go of that hair, dog. Just why? Can I ask you a question? What grown man tells another man how to look? How about that? Don't you feel less of a man to tell another man what to do with their looks? I mean, can I ask you that question? Because another grown man should never talk about another grown man's look unless you're not a grown man. That's very possible. So, um, Michael, what's up, my man? Bloom Dog. Who else is in here? Dougie Mill is in here. Milk Dud. All right, Tim. So I don't have templates. I have to look through my phone because if I click on these tabs on the iPad, it's gonna somehow take away my camera. So we're gonna start out here. First fight of the night. It is in the strawweight division. It is the 16-6 Caitlin Souza versus the 15-4 Arnie Carnelosi. Women's fight, first fight. Tim gets to tell you guys what his Lambo play is here. Go ahead, Tim.
Interesting fight. This is a rematch that nobody wanted to see. Early in their careers, Souza was a very, very different fighter, and Carnelosi is the exact same fighter. I think that Souza has made some improvements since that point. She's much better striker. Seems like she can. She's went from like 25% body fat in that first fight to like 15 range. So she's tightened up. Can actually see abs instead of the muffin top look. And Carnelosi is just Carnelosi, man. She's low volume, very bad takedown defense. She's got that fake strong look to her. So I was struggling with this one a little bit, but I ended up on Souza KO at plus 440. Not tremendous confidence in it, but I think she's going to press forward and try to get some redemption from the previous fight. So sub plus 440. If you want to get greasy, you can get the late rounds at a little bit bigger. I think it'll be hard to get an early knockout, but I'll just go on the basic sub. Sorry, not the basic sub. The basic KO at plus 440.
Yeah, I mean, for me, honestly, I think it could come attritionally here. Sosa, she has good cardio. She always looks pretty good in round three. I think she's gonna have a monster speed advantage here against Carnelosi. Carnelosi, she's an okay striker, but she's gonna be loopy. She's gonna be slow. Sousa's fast. Her hands are fast. Like you watch the Bruna Brazil fight, and honestly, I think the main thing that came across for me after watching that fight is her fight IQ was just terrible in that fight. Like I just don't understand it. She hit Brazil a couple of times where she hurt her, and then she's like, okay, let me try to clinch you. Like, I don't understand. I know she has a Muay Thai background. I know that she's pretty good in the clinch, but like, you're hurting this girl on the feet. Like, why are you all of a sudden clinching and letting her recover? It just didn't make sense. She did it multiple times in the fight. But she is a good striker. She's faster. I think she's the one that's improved a lot. Sosa, she's kind of, I think her frame is kind of better now for 115 because I think she used to fight at 105 a long time ago, and I kind of feel like she's built it up and she looks a little more of a straw weight now. Obviously Carnelosi is juiced to the gills, it seems like, but I mean it's not helped her. It's not helped her in any realm of MMA, to be honest. She's looked terrible off her back. Even though she says she's a black belt, I highly doubt she's like a legitimate black belt. But, Sosa does sometimes hunt for subs. And I kind of looked at the sub, but I don't honestly think it could be both. It could be sub, it could be KO, it could be even decision, right? Like she could like drag Carnelossi to a decision, but I went with 2-3. I went with the plus 850, plus 1300 shot here, just because, like I said, I think she's a girl that comes on strong, and I think maybe she can get Carnelossi. I don't think it's gonna be easy, but maybe she can get her out of there, later in the fight, right? So I'm gonna go with that. Sosa round 2, round 3, 850, 1300. Let's move on. Fight 2. It's in the women's flyweight division. It is the 6-0 Jesla Chavez versus the 6-1 Eunice Dubin. Tim, I will take this one. I should have taken the first one because this is actually the lotion fight, but you lost out on it. It is my turn. This is a fight, honestly, I'm going to tell you right now, like, I'm not shy from taking big plus money fighters. Like I'm just because everybody else thinks, so and so is gonna win easy, blah blah. I if I think I should go against the grain, I will go against the grain. And to be honest, this fight is two low level fighters, right? Like that's you know, Chavez has pretty good striking, but she's actually horrific at defending strikes, like very, very bad, right? She got dropped and hurt multiple times in her Dana White's Contender Series fight. And that was the first time she's ever faced a live body in MMA. Look at the fighters that she's beat. They were horrific, right? The same thing could be said for Dubin, by the way. She really hasn't faced anyone good. She knocked out Shannon Clark. That's her best win, obviously. But then last fight, she kind of got pieced up a little bit and get knocked out. But, and this is a big but, if you go back and watch the Carly Judice fight, and I had a big bet on Carly Judice, by the way, because I think, Dubin's not good. In that fight, go back and watch it. She was landing some very good shots. I even think at one point she buzzed Judice in round 1. Judice's face was fucking red as a tomato. She cracked her with some big shots early. And eventually, obviously, Judice caught up to her, landed the head kick, knocked her out. My point is, everything that I've seen from Dubin, she's not a great striker. I think she's okay. She has good kicks. She has that karate kickboxing background. The one thing she does have, and she has power, man. She has power in her hands. And you're seeing Chavez, like, bro, she blocks punches with her face. So why can't she knock out this girl Chavez? I just saw her get dropped 3 different times against, that other girl. I think Dubin hits harder than that girl, Montenegro or whatever her name was. So I'm going with Dubin KO, Tim. 850. I just think both girls are very, very defensively bad. And I honestly think Dubin probably hits harder than Chavez. If I'm to guess, I don't know for sure. But both these girls are low level. There's no way you can say that Chavez should be minus 400 here, man. Because there's a lot of question marks with Dubin. Like, yes, did she get knocked out? Sure. But do we actually know, like, is their chin bad? Like, is their chin bad? I don't. If anybody gets head kicked, they can get knocked out. It's just one of those things. Landing fucking chin to head, it's a knockout. But like, I don't know if her chin is bad. Maybe it's good. Maybe her cardio's good. And this just becomes a slugfest. So I don't know how you can lay minus 400 on Chavez. I really don't know. That's the girl, by the way, Tim, your favorite organization in the entire world, the one that fights in the malls in Brazil. She's in that organization. She fought in those malls plenty of times. So, yeah, I'm taking Dubin KO 850. I mean, it's a no-brainer for me. I think this girl gets hit way too much for me not to play this. Listen, you might say whatever you want about Shannon Clark. Shannon Clark is tough, though. And she landed one big strike and put her absolutely to sleep. Not many girls can do that in MMA, She has to have some kind of power. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, I didn't know where to go on this one, to be honest. I was thinking KO for either side is good. I don't hate your shot. Obviously, she's done it before. I don't think that either one of these fighters is really good or reliable. There's not a ton of tape against anybody skilled. I think the Montenegro fight on the tape that I did on Chavez was the most skilled fighter that I watched her fight. And clearly, Judice is the best fighter that Dubin has fought, and she just got murdered in that fight. Um, I just don't think that either one of these guys is like super reliable. So I can't hate on anybody taking a shot on the Dubin side like you are. And I ended up I was going back and forth if I wanted to try to fit a finish prop on this one or not. And I ended up looking at the like end split at plus 475. And then I Dubin by split is plus 2,000, and then Dubin by decision is plus 800. I think the best one is the end split plus 475 and the Dubin split at plus 2,000. I like the end split because I just think it's going to be just ugly shit if this fight goes to decision. I think it's probably going to be some really ugly exchanges. And like you said, Dubin hits hard. Maybe she gets some damage. Um, Chavez was all bloodied up. I thought it was really debate. I mean, I think the fight that she won against Montenegro could have gone either way, really.
She lost. She
So
lost, in my opinion.
yeah, I thought so too. Actually, I thought that she was bloodied up. So yeah, give me end split in a gross, disgusting fight. I probably won't bet this fight though.
Yeah, and don't forget in that fight there was that stupid stand up where, um, the one girl, the one ref, like said her, keep working, and she thought it was a stand up. She didn't understand, so she just stood up. Montenegro, it's hilarious. All right,
Yeah, that was awful.
yeah, let's
That
move
like was
on.
major. I would say a major factor in that fight.
Fight number 3. It is in the featherweight division. It is the 13-3 Jordan Levitt versus the 18-5-1 Joe Anderson Brito. This one's yours. I'm gonna have to this. I don't know why this is not charging, but it says charging, but the charge is going down. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, it's an interesting fight. You got Brito is just such a juiced up Brazilian, super dangerous everywhere. Great front chokes, freak athlete, good speed, nasty ass leg kicks, um, huge massive power in both of his hands. Just very dangerous everywhere in every aspect of MMA. And then you got Jordan Levitt, who's like the absolute opposite, where he's just not dangerous really very many ways, unless he's fighting complete scrubs. Tries to avoid the fight striking as much as he can, waits for you to overcommit, shoots takedowns, tries to lay and pray. If you make bad mistakes, he'll maybe sub you, but it's usually just decisionating guys unless they're, like I said, scrubs. And for me, I I just think like this is a situation where the overcorrection kind of in the market from the performance that Levitt did against Delval, and just that was just a shitting of the bed by Yadier, in my opinion. Like he just was horrible. Like just overrated him, and there was an overcorrection on him in a fixed fight versus Bulgarian, and then he's going up against a guy that has good wrestling coming down in weight, and really the grappling exchanges in that fight were kind of predictable. And I think this fight is he's just not the same fight. Like I think that Brito can get off on calf kicks and destroy the lead leg, making it tougher to get takedowns. I think a lot of the takedowns are body lock trips and things like that from Levitt. And I just think that this is going to be a situation where Brito can piece him up on the feet. If he's smart, he's not just going to try to jack him with punches. That he'll just try to attack the lead leg like he did against Jack Shore and try to immobilize him a little bit and just kind of make him a sitting target and make it harder for him to get him down. And I think if it's hard to get takedowns in this fight, I think that it's possible that you'll see some quit in Levitt later on as the fight goes. And I lean sub. I think it's possible that he could knock him out, but I lean that he's going to get choked out. I think in a bunch of the fights where Levitt has fought against grapplers that are scrambly and have good jiu-jitsu, he's gotten reversed in both against Patty, um, he got reversed almost instantly. Against Hooper, it was instantaneous as well, and he was tapping very shortly after. So I like Brito by sub plus 470. Sub 2 is plus 1400. Sub 3 is plus 2200. I think they're good. Like I said, I think he could KO him, but I lean that he's going to finish him with sub. He could even club and sub him.
Yeah. One of the main things, and I like Brito here, and one of the main sticking points to me was I pointed out in the breakdown is that, when I watch Levitt, a lot of his takedowns are body lock, upper body trips, body lock takedowns. And for me, that's where Brito really excels defending takedowns, because he's physically very, very strong up top. I think where he lacks is when you get to his legs, like Sabatini did a lot of, ankle picks, stuff like that. Um, got him down and stuff like that. So, and you watch how Levitt gets guys down. It's mostly upper body stuff. He's not really a conventional wrestler that goes to the legs or double legs or does stuff like that. And I think that's going to give him a lot of problems in this fight, man, because Brito's physically super strong up top. You're not going to be able to out physical this guy by body locks and stuff like that. So, I think that's a big part of why I landed on Brito. But the other part is, even though Brito is easy to take down if you get to his legs, he's constantly working. He does have bad fight IQ. He does pull guillotine. He does go for ninja chokes. He does do that stuff. But the one thing that he also does is he still tries to work back up. It's not like, he just lays on the back, closes his guard, and does nothing. He's not Del Valle, right? He's not going to do that. And the thing that I've seen over and over with Levitt is if you make the guy work, he is fucking gassed by round 3. I can guarantee you. And I just think Brito is going to make him work, man. Brito is not a guy that's just going to, people are going to look at the fight against Sabatini and say, oh, well, Sabatini rode this guy for like 10 minutes. Bro, Sabatini is an absolute monster on top. We are not going to compare Pat Sabatini to Jordan Levitt on top. It's night and day. You know what I'm saying? Even the wrestling, the grappling is night and day. So, I just think Brito's going to get this guy later, man. This guy got gassed against Del Valle. He was on bottom after a failed takedown in mount, Del Valle. Do you know what happens to this guy if Brito's going to get to the mount against him? He's going to murder him, bro. He's going to absolutely put his head through the canvas if he gets there. So, I'm going to go with Brito just 2-3, man. 600, 950. I think it could easily be KO. Standing, it could easily be KO on top. I just, man, look at the guys. I look at Levitt and look at the guys he's beat, man. Like nothing impresses me with his wins, man. Nothing. So physicality is a big thing for me. I know Levitt's dropping from 55, but Brito's a big, strong fucker for 45. So I like Joe Anderson Brito here quite a bit. I think he's gonna finish actually 2-3. Even could be early, but yeah, I like 2-3 a lot. I know there's a lot of comments, guys. I'm sorry, but I'm on this stupid iPad here on vacation and I can't. It's Travi's in here, Joseph is in here, Uncle Weezy's in here, Left 4 Dead. Who else is in here? Venzi MMA is in here, Pepe is in here. Shout out to all you guys. I just can't bring up the chat with this stupid thing. All right, Tim, let's move on. Fight number 4. It is, because I got to bring it up on my phone. It's in the women's flyweight division, and it is the 6-4 Chelsea Chandler versus the 13-8 Priscilla Cachoeira. It's actually in the bantamweight division. I'm sorry. Yeah, 6-4, 13-8. Records are, not very good. One girl's 35, one girl's 37. They're up there in age. I saw him at face-offs. Chandler's not that much bigger. Everybody always said how much smaller Cachoeira is going to be. He's not that much smaller than Chandler. Dude, the thing I watched Chandler, Tim, and it's just ugly, bro. Everything she does is ugly. Striking's ugly. Grappling's ugly. Wrestling's ugly. The way she takes shots and handles shots, ugly. I mean, there's nothing good about her game. And then you look at Cachoeira, and yes, there are ugly parts of her game. When she's on her back, it's ugly, right? Her striking's not bad. Her striking is actually, she throws a lot of straight shots. I like that about her. Her too. Her cross is right down the pipe, straight down the pipe. She hits very hard. She has one punch KO power, which we can't say for women's MMA. She did it to Josiane Nunez with one punch. Um, and she's tough as hell. She takes punches and she'll keep coming and keep coming. You know, and I was on Segula that fight, last fight, right? I was on Segula because I thought Segula was good on the feet. She was decent on the feet. And I thought she had some grappling in her back pocket if she needed it, right? She basically outstruck Cachoeira there. I mean, Cachoeira landed big shots and Segula took them well. The thing is, I don't think Chandler's going to be able to take them well. You know, we might get rocked. She might go for the clinch. Her takedown, you know, Cachoeira, I'll tell you, her first level takedown defense is really good. It is really good. It's it's the second and third attempts that gets her down, and then once she's flat on her back, it's just not a good sight, right? I just don't think Chandler's UFC worthy at all, bro. Like she is not UFC worthy at all. Even if she gets on top, I don't think it's going to be easy finish for her. Look at Jasmine Jasdavicius, how much top time, how much damage she did, and it took her almost 2.5 rounds to finish that fight, right? So I will say Chandler does seem like she's kind of tough, right? Even though she got knocked out by Edwards. Edwards also knocked out Cachoeira as well. Um, but I just like Cachoeira here in general, man. I think she can land more. I think in the clinch she can separate there. I mean, she's physical enough for me. Um, I was just deciding between KO and decision, and KO is so low that I went with decision with Cachoeira plus 390. I think it's good enough for me, you know, in a fight that's basically pick 'em. I don't think she should be plus 390 to win by decision here. So, um, yeah, I just think 4-1 or close to 4-1 is enough for me to take Cachoeira. You?
Yeah, we see this fight very similarly. I can't. I was trying as hard as I possibly could to get to a Chandler bet. Unlike not a bet, but like a Lambo for this, and being like talking myself into, oh, the sub is there and da 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 da, and I just couldn't get to it as hard as as much as I really wanted to. I was nodding my head when you said the Jazz fight, like Jazz Davicius and Miranda Mavic, like it took them both 3 rounds, like middle of three to get her out, and they both are just they both in every aspect of grappling are so much better than Chandler. They're both way better athletes, more physical, way better jiu-jitsu. And it like we said, it just took them both, 2.5 rounds to get her out. And I just couldn't get to there. And then obviously like you know, the worst picture like in the history of I have a picture on my phone of Chelsea just turning and going in full sprint mode. It's great to look at the picture and show people who just are like don't really watch fights, but like this actually happened in a fight, and they're like, oh my god, that's terrible. And like not only is she turns and runs, but like she runs straight into the cage at like full speed. Like she was trying her hardest to like get the fuck out of the ring, and then realized there's an actual cage there. And that was against Norma Dumont. Like that's not against like some like huge hitter that you're like, oh my god, I got to get away from this. So I think I went with Zombie KO1 at plus 650 and KO2 at 850 to kind of bump it up a little bit. I kind of think like you're saying, like if she doesn't get her out of there early in round one or round two, like maybe she could get her out of Tristan Lee, but I think if she gets her out, it's early. Like she's probably when she has more power and is more aggressive. So yeah, I'm going KO1 and KO2 for Zombie here.
All right. Yeah, I could see that for sure. Fight number 5, it is in the men's flyweight division. It is the 15-8-2 Bruno Silva versus the 13-6 Edgar Chairez. This one's yours, Tim.
Good fight here. This is kind of like a classic minutes versus moments type fight to me. I think the more all around fighter in this, meaning which fighter has more paths to victory. I think the fight goes to decision at a high clip. I think both these guys can be very dangerous in their fights, especially Chirez early. I think Bruno is dangerous as well, but in a kind of different way. They both have power. They both have nasty chokes. Um, Chirez never offensively grapples like at all ever. So I think that the offensive grappling and the takedowns for Bruno here are much more likely. I think he is a better grappler just in general. I think he's a better wrestler. He's got nasty calf kicks. I just think the just general technicality and volume from him is going to be the minute winning. And I think it's going to take some big moments to swing rounds, which is possible from Edgar. And Bruno tends to get hurt in a lot of his fights, and he doesn't take damage as well recently in his career. So I ended up on end split at plus 475, Bruno points plus 200. If you like Chirez, his split is actually pretty big at 15-1, but I would take the Bruno points at plus 200 and the end split at plus 475 as my most confident place.
Yeah, this one I went back and forth on. I originally thought I was going to bet Chirez, to be honest, as a dog. But after watching tape, um, I just didn't like what I saw off his back. You know, he's closing guard. He is, throwing punches off bottom, throwing up submissions. Just, kind of bad fight IQ. And then, jumping Gilly a lot, stuff like that. If I saw more like, more, like he wanted to get up really quick or just stuff takedowns, use some fight IQ, I would probably bet him, honestly, because I think the thing is, yes, maybe all around striking, maybe slight edge to Silva because he might be a bit faster. But I think the like boxing wise, like he has very good boxing, Chirus, when he lets go. He doesn't have the volume that Silva has. But you mentioned calf kicks. I think his calf kicks might be better than Silva's, to be honest. Like he doesn't take you can't take many calf kicks from Chirus. Like if he lands 4 or 5 of them, you're fucked. Your leg is cooked. So when I look at these two guys, they're kind of similar, right? Except for the fact that I think Bruno, like you said, he offensively wrestles a little bit more than Chirez. But one thing that sticks out that they're different at is durability. I think Chirez is much more durable than Silva is at this point. Even though I will say Silva still is very durable, man. You watch how many shots he took from Van before he finally got him out of there. It was a lot. Johnson landed some good shots on him. He took him pretty damn well. It's just it's a close fight. That's why I couldn't just pull the trigger. It's like, this could be just a 50-50 fight. Like, yes, I do think, Bruno Silva might land more, but who's going to land the bigger shots? I think it might be Chirez. Who's going to land the more impactful shots? Probably Chirez. So, split is plus 500, actually, on Bet Online. I don't know if it moved, but I just went with split here. I couldn't get a side. I really couldn't pick a side because I do think it's kind of like a splitish close fight. I do favor Chirez with more finishing equity here, which kind of would make me lean on his side just because I think he finishes more. But at the end of the day, I think this is a close fight. If
Do you think
if
Bruno has the
Chirez,
cardio edge?
I don't think it's a big deal here. I really don't. I think it's very close. I don't really see a cardio. Both guys have pretty good cardio. Chirez, yes, he's looked a little slow in round. I mean, the last fight at altitude, he came on in round 3. Actually, he hurt. What's his name in round 3? So I don't know. I think cardio's fine on both. All right, let's move on. Next fight. It is fight number 6. It is in the men's bantamweight division. It is the 10-2 Marcus McGee versus the 10-4 John Yanez. Very interesting fight here. Interesting but weird, right? You give this guy Peter Yan, and let's say he wins that fight. He probably is very close to like top 5, fighting for the title. Maybe, I don't know, right? and then you drop him all the way to John Giannis. And I get it. I think Giannis took this on short notice. And McGee just took the fight probably because he's been out for so long. He's like, you know what? What am I gonna do? Like keep sitting out because the guy pulled out. I'm just gonna take the fight right against John Giannis, who came off a nice knockout against Jamie Siraj. But honestly, like at first thought in my head is like, man, this line's kind of big, striker versus striker, because I know Giannis, right? I run back the tape on McGee, and I'm just impressed with him, dude. Like he's a smart fighter. He's very, very athletic. He's very, very strong. And he just does everything well, dude. He can grapple, he can strike, he switches stances, he can kick. Um, he's very, very strong, like I said. He's got a great get-up game if you get him down. Like he's just a well-rounded fighter. And there's a reason why he even competed with one of the best fighters on the planet, Peter Yan, right? He competed with him in that fight. It wasn't like it was a one-sided fight. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I get that Yanez can strike with him, but I also saw Yanez get dropped bad against Cameron Smotherman, and like, it was a back and forth war against a guy like Cameron Smotherman. Like, it's not going to be the same thing with McGee, man. He's to me, he can get a takedown whenever he wants. I'll tell you that right off the bat. And he's just too good for Giannis, man. He's too complete of a fighter for me for Giannis to beat him, man. And he's very durable as well. That's the other thing. So I think it's Marcus McGee here. I just don't know how. I went with decision. I do think Giannis is tough. But honestly, Tim, I would not be shocked if McGee knocks him out, subs him, anything. Anything's on the table here. But I went with McGee decision. Not the biggest confidence in this play, but I think he wins comfortably, honestly. I really do.
Yeah, really nothing to add. I just think that this is, you know, it's not even like an IQ test kind of where it's like, does he go to the grappling in this fight? Like, I don't even know that he necessarily needs to. I think the situation will be like he'll go to the grappling if he needs it. Like if he gets hurt or he gets buzzed, he might shoot a takedown then. But he doesn't really need to. Like his movement is so much better. Like he's just so much better at finding his range and using his footwork to get his shots off than Giannis is. And I just think he's just going to be able to piece him up. Whether or not he, like you said, whether or not he finishes him, I don't really know. Honestly, the Smotherman knocking you down that bad is a bad look in this fight, I think. But yeah, I went with the decision as well with McGee. Just hoping that he like. I normally would try to take a shot on the sub in this fight, but I just think that he's gonna only grapple if he's hurt. But I don't hate people taking a stab on it just from the, Giannis's back, just gives up his back every time he tries to get up. So, and that's not just in the Bashy fight, it's multiple fights that he's done it. So I think that that's pretty much like if he goes to grapple, I think that that's going to be live.
Yeah. I mean, I was impressed with Marcus McGee, to be honest. Like he's just a solid fighter, man. And they're gonna come in with a great game plan. MMA Lab is really good. Pick'em MMA says McGee stubborn decision plus 110 out there. But man, he can knock him out, bro. Like McGee hits hard, bro. He hits very, very hard. Giannis, like I said, Cameron Smotherman dropped him bad at the end of the round. If it wasn't at the end of the round, he might have finished him. But it was right at the bell, and he dropped him pretty damn bad. So, anyways, let's move on. Fight number 7. It is a catch weight, Tim, of 130. It is the 17-10 Matt Schnell versus the 15-5 Alessandro Costa. What do you got here for this one? It's a flyweights fighting at 130 catch weight.
Yeah, I mean, this is just pretty crazy. Matt Schnell doing the Matt Schnell dance at this point again. The guy's retired like seemingly like 7 times. He's back again. Just trying to get, whatever his pay rate is. It's probably a bunch. He probably gets paid a decent amount, and he's just there for paychecks at this point. I feel like it's kind of tough because I think he's going to nuke Matt, but I think Costa's going to nuke him early. I just think it's a really horrible matchup stylistically for Schnell. Like you get a guy that's just super aggro early in fights and throws massive shots and can can grapple as well if he tries to panic shot. I ended up on the sub 1 at plus 900, sub 2 at plus 1800. I don't think this round hits. I don't think this hits round 3, so I don't necessarily feel like this playing the sub at plus 470 is worth it. So yeah, so I took a shot on the sub. Maybe a panic shot from Schnell, and into a guillotine or front choke of some sort, and he double taps again. So yeah, give me sub 1, sub 2, but no confidence. I think he actually nukes him.
Yeah, I mean, this was a pass originally for me, but I had question mark sub, and I mean, you can't play KO. It's ridiculous. KO is ridiculous, right? So it's either you're gonna play decision here or you're gonna play sub because there's nothing else. You can't play Schnell in this spot. Um, even though he's skilled, Schnell, he just doesn't have a chin. He has no chin at all. Um, his jujitsu is actually pretty good. I will give him that, but Costa's very fast to get to the back and probably could tap him. Um, I mean, it was originally a pass for me. I'm gonna give out sub, just sub in general. What is it? 500? I think you can get 500 somewhere. I saw 5-1. I don't know. I don't think it hits, like you said, but this is a fight that I just think Costa, if he fumbles this bag, it will be bad. But I don't think he will. I mean, he's pretty damn durable. Um, he's got big power. He's athletic. He's got very good kicks as well. I just think Schnell's kind of, even though I like Schnell's boxing, I think he has got good boxing. I think he has good jujitsu game. He just doesn't have a chin, man. He doesn't have a chin, and we see it over and over again with him. So, yeah. I mean, I don't want to go on. Let's move on. Fight number 8. It is in the men's light heavyweight division. It is the 8-0 Iwo Baranowski versus the 7-5 Junior Tafa. I will kick this one off. I'm going here, Tim. I'm going here. Listen up. I'm going sub 2-3 on Iowa. And it's massive. It's 19-1, 5,000-1. I mean, 50-1, right? I don't think it gets to round 3 because both these guys are kind of gassy, I think. From what I've seen from Iowa, it looks like he's kind of gassy. But I'm hoping and praying that what he's saying is what he's going to do. He's going to try to grapple some. The only thing that scares me is that he loves ground and pound, man. He loves the ground and pound. And it's like, fuck, man. If he gets a tired Tafa in round 2, is he going to really sub him or is he just going to fucking pound him out? Because this guy's so tired. So that's what I'm afraid of. I do think that Tafa, if this guy stands a lot, Tafa is going to be able to. Tafa hits very hard. He hurts almost everybody in every fight, when he lands on them. So, and we saw what Ebo did to him a couple of times. He was hurt pretty damn bad, even though he's tough. Tafa missed weight by half a pound. I don't know if he made weight again or they gave him more time. If anybody knows, let me know. But he missed weight by half a pound. Looked like he killed himself to get there because he was the last guy on the scale too and needed the box. So it wasn't a great look. But yeah, the numbers are so big. Instead of playing sub that got nuked, I mean, that sub got absolutely, I would never play sub for him at 330, 335, 350, right? I just rather take a chance that, he might get it later at 19-1 and 50-1. So, yeah, going sub 2-3. What do you got here, Tim?
Yeah, I bet the sub early in the week at like plus 460 and then the sub 2 at plus 2200. I would just give out the sub and the sub 2, honestly. I think that it's, 18-1 is still good. I'll probably throw like $10 on your 50-1, just to have a little bit more on it. But yeah, I've got enough on this guy by sub, and I'm ready for the ground and pound finish to break my heart, or him standing and banging with this guy and getting nuked. Yeah, we'll see. I I think it's no, you couldn't be more obvious in your tactics in this fight. This is just like, if you have any clue whatsoever, you should be taking this guy down. And
But the truth is, she should have been taking down Ebo Aslan too. That's the
no
truth.
doubt,
You know
no
what I'm
doubt.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
so I don't know. He says he's gonna do it. Supposedly his coaches told him he's gonna have to do it in the interview. Blah blah blah. I don't believe these fucking guys at all. You know, you get hit once and you want to get it back and stuff like that. So, anyways, let's move on. Fight number 9. It is in the bantamweight division. It is the 18-3 Bryce Mitchell versus the 8-0 Santiago Luna. This one is yours, Tim.
Yeah, this one I haven't even written it down yet, so I'm gonna give my pick here at the end after I break it down. I didn't make a pick here yet on my sheet. I'm still debating it, so I'll make my breakdown and then I'll give my pick at the end of this one. I just think it's kind of a weird fight because you have a guy that in Bryce Mitchell where you it's a known commodity and you know what you're gonna get. And I think Luna, you have a guy that has a bunch of hype on him, and I don't necessarily know kind of like yet if it's deserved. I honestly can't tell you. Like I can't really cap him yet. Like I haven't seen him against good enough guys, and like I think he's skilled, but I don't think that necessarily he might not necessarily be worth the hype. Um, so when I'm thinking about this fight and just like, the Angel Pacheco getting Luna down in round 3 was a bad look. It didn't last for super long, but just the fact that he was able to get him down in this fight is not that great of a look for me. We don't necessarily know what Luna looks like against a guy that's going to be looking to advance to different positions and isn't just going to lay and prey on him. And or if he can stuff takedowns at a very, very high level. And then you go to the other side on Mitchell, and he's a known commodity. Coming down in weight, he just looks like death on this, like not death on the scale, but just like coming down. He looks like he's putting himself through some massive pain getting to this weight class. And he's going to go for his shots. I think on the feet, it's advantage Luna. The wrestling question to me is that's the biggest kind of if, I'd be interesting to hear what you have to say on it. I'm going to end up going on getting him out of there in rounds 2 or 3. Just because I've seen Bryce, if he's not able to get his game off, kind of, want to take his ball and kind of go home in some of these fights. And I think Luna hits hard enough to maybe get him out of there or potentially maybe get a front choke, but I do not have very, very much confidence in this. If Mitchell came out here and owned him on the ground, I wouldn't be shocked. And if he gets KO'd late, I wouldn't be shocked either. So not tremendous confidence in this fight. Would have almost been a pass for me, but I'll end up taking the shot on the late round props for Luna.
Yeah, that's not a bad look, honestly, because I went into tape thinking Mitchell should be a pretty good spot to bet. And I came out of tape leaning the other side, honestly. I'm leaning Luna at small plus money now because I was actually very impressed with him, man. Like very, very fast hands. Very good defensive wrestling, very good with his get up game. Like he doesn't mess around on the ground, bro. Like he is up and very, very explosive and strong, it seems like to me. There was a lot of scrambles. If you watched the fight against the Russian guy, Baduayev or whatever his name is, you could tell that Russian guy is a grappler. Like he's a good wrestler. And he got Luna down. Listen, he got Luna down multiple times, maybe 4 or 5 times, right? He shot probably 20 plus takedowns on him. But dude, he never really. There was one instance where he kept him down for, I don't know, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. But that was it, man. Luna just absolutely got up every single time, scrambled with him, even got his own takedowns later, and got this guy was exhausted, dude, in round 3. Either 3 or 4, whatever round he finished him in. He was absolutely exhausted. And then Luna finished him. His hands are just good, man. For a guy that comes from a Greco-Roman wrestling background, he's got very fast hands, very, very natural, striking, fast hands, very good combos. He's not throwing one punch, Not even 2 punches. He's throwing 3, 4, 5 punches. And I watched a lot of his clips on his IG, man, and he's working on his fucking striking, his boxing. You could tell he's moving really good, very good head movement, bobbing and weaving. I mean, he just looks the part, you know. And the other thing is, like, that Badulaya fight was like, whatever, a year and a half, 2 years ago. He's only 21, this dude, man. He's going to be rapidly improving. You know what he said in his interview and media day? He said he's been working with Armin Sarukian all the time and Cheeto Vera. You don't think this fucking guy's going to be improving? He's wrestling with Armin Sarukian. You know, a 55er who's probably can fight at 85 even. You know what I'm saying? Like, Scud looks physically strong. He looks like he's a very good striker and he's improving. Yes, you know, can he get taken down? Sure. I don't know if Bright Mitchell is going to be able to hold this guy down, man. He looks explosive. He's still young. He is taking his fight on short notice, but he also said, dude, the way I do it, I'm young. After my fight, 1 week later, I'm in the gym. I'm a gymmer. I'm always in the gym training, so I'm always ready. So when they called me, he said when the UFC called me, when I saw the text message, it was right after sparring. I had just sparred. So you know this fucking guy is in the gym all the time. So I don't have concerns with his cardio, honestly. And you know, the only question is, what happens when Mitchell gets to these advantageous positions, right? What happens if Mitchell flattens him and he's in half guard and passes to Mount? Like, we don't know those questions because he's been taken down, but he's never been put in bad spots ever, from what I've seen. So that's the question here, why I couldn't really pull the trigger on him, because the one thing Mitchell's good at, and he's a really good chain wrestler, man. He's gonna chain until he gets you down. And so, watching that Saeed fight, I don't think he looked great, Mitchell, honestly. Saeed kind of fucked up that fight. He fumbled the bag bad, in my opinion. He had some very good positions that he rushed and he lost and he fell off the back and did some stupid things. And Luna could possibly do the same shit, but yeah, I don't mind your look at all, 2-3, but I'm just gonna go split decision here, plus 500. It's not great confidence in this. I think I probably rather have your 2-3 than split, honestly. What's Luna decision? Do you even know that? By any
Like
chance?
3 to
I
1.
don't have. Yeah, see, the line's shitty.
It's around 3 to 1.
I don't like 3 to 1. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with split 5 to 1. Let me shout out my boy Dissection. Another $70 Canadian dono. I appreciate you, my man. This is every week with Dissection. He said, look at what he said, Tim. Your favorite guy. Hi, boys. Yemba. Yemba cashed. Oh, well, Yemba didn't fight this week, but yeah, I appreciate the dono very much. Dissection's in the Discord. He loves the fucking low level EFC and all this other nonsense leagues that he knows some of these guys. I have no fucking idea. With those organizations, I just don't mess with them, dude. And then he loves the one fighting championship. He's really actually good at one. Very, very good at one. So appreciate the dono, my man. Tim, let's keep it rolling. Fight number 10. It is in the men's lightweight division. It is the 18-4 Fares Ziam versus the 10-1 Tom Nolan. I will kick this one off. I really, really like what I've seen from Ziam, man. Like, improvements. Like, this guy's a top 10 fighter for me, honestly, at 55. I know I'm maybe talking out of my ass. People are going to think I'm crazy, but I honestly think he's a great fighter, man. He's improved so much. He's technically so good at every part of MMA, striking, grappling. He looks strong now. I mean, the way he was fucking tossing around Nazim last fight was incredible, dude. Like, just pick him up, single high crotch, and just fucking dump him, bro. The body lock, just fucking pick him up and slam him. He looks physically strong. He looks really, really good in all parts of MMA, man. Clinch game is good. Grappling is very good. Striking is very good. Defensively, very good. I don't know what to say. I don't see I don't see much of a leak in his game right now, man. Like, I know there's been fights that he hasn't looked great in back in, a couple years ago. This guy's improved a lot, man. A lot. He looks the part. I wanted to bet Nolan because I'm like, Nolan's dangerous. He's long, he throws the knees, he throws the kicks, he's got long arms, he has some power. He's dangerous. But Ziem is a very, very cerebral fighter. He's gonna do what he needs to do to win. The one knock on him I will say is I don't think he has much power in his hands. He does not have like that power in his punches. Like you look at his knockouts, it's knees, it's elbows, nothing comes from his hands. He's not a big puncher at all. And I think it's more like by design, like he's technical, right? He's more technical. He wants to land on you, mixes stuff in. But I do think Tom Nolan's is durable. I know he's been knocked out. I know he's been flatlined. But I've watched him, and I think he's very damn durable, man. He's pretty damn durable. The one way I think Ziem could finish him is submission. But I went with decision here for Ziem, plus 185. I'm fine with it. As a minus, 300 favorite, I think plus 185 has a little bit of value to it.
I ended up on ZM points as well. I just think that this is just a really tough matchup. I think Nolan is a guy that's going to struggle in this fight in a bunch of different ways. Like he's used to using his size and length, and this is going to be a matchup where dude is just as long and just as tall. And obviously, you can make the argument that this could also go for Ziem. You can make the same argument. He's used to being the taller, longer fighter, but he knows how to use it. Like the difference is like he's way better. He's way better defensively. He's way better at range. You mentioned the clinch to me is I just think like that's where he's most dangerous. Like he's most dangerous when he gets elbows and he gets in the clinch and guys are trying to take him down, and he just makes guys pay for trying to take him down and not being able to get the takedown. And I think that's like one of the best. It's kind of one of the best areas of his game and of improvement in his game. He's improved every aspect. I think the physicality is massive. As you said, he's just much more physical. He's starting to get the grown man strength. And I watched back the Slava versus Nolan fight, and Slava it was closer than I think the decision, like the scorecards were, it's closer striking wise than the score. And Nolan had like almost zero success grappling him. Like I know a lot of people are on the sub and the grapple heavy approach from Nolan here. It's like I don't see it. Like he went 1 for 8 on Slava, and like I don't see it happening like at all in this fight. I think if anybody gets takedowns, I honestly think it's Ziem.
Tim, I will chop off my left arm if he out grapples Ziem. I will literally chop off my left arm.
I would too. Yeah, I think if anybody's getting takedowns, I would think it's Ziem, to be honest. Like, and I just think that just in general,
you're cutting. You're freezing
because I think Nolan also.
You're freezing. Tim, you're freezing. You're lagging. I don't know if is it on my end, guys, or is he lagging? You're better now, I think. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so I went with decision with Ziem. I think I think it's going to be pretty clear, to be honest.
All right, let's move on. Co-main event of the night, and it is in the men's middleweight division. It is the 26-7 Brandon Allen versus the 16-5 Edmund Shabazian. This one's yours.
Just
you're frozen.
Right for me. Both of these guys are very predictable in how they fight. Allen is going to, walk through the fire and try to get you out late and try to grapple you, try to take you back. He's good at ground and pound. He's very aggressive. He's almost sometimes, I would say he's more submission over position a lot of times in his fights. And then you got Edmund, who's got 7 minutes to get you out, pretty much. Like I've just not seen a fight yet of his where he's functional after 7 minutes. And there's just too many times where the grappling looks and the physicality on Edmund, you're like, oh, this is the time. Like this is the time. Oh, he's actually doing great. Look at how good he's doing. And then just he falls off a cliff, and you're like, oh my god, he's getting taken down by GM3, and he's instantly tapping. Like just it's just really really bad looks. So I understand people taking a shot on Edmund in this fight from a money line perspective, or taking a shot on his KO1 in this fight, because Brendan can be hit, he can be hurt in fights. He's too aggressive a lot of times striking. Um, so I understand that if you're taking a shot and you're looking to live, you're looking to get off of it live on Allen. But I just went the Allen rounds 2 and rounds 3 plus 600 plus 800. I think he could be either one. I think he could sub him, or I think he could KO him. KOs are bigger. Uh, I don't honestly. I don't even like think that Edmund's like bad necessarily at defending submissions. I just think he just gasses out so much that he just quits. So whether or not it's ground and pound, or whether or not it's him giving up his back, or giving up an arm triangle, or giving up his back in an RNC, I don't know. Sometimes he just lays there and he doesn't even give up his back. So it's just that's the problem here. So I don't hate anybody taking shots on KO or KO 2-3. I'm just gonna go with rounds 2 and rounds 3 and not get super greedy. But I do have a parlay. I did like it was like 103-1, which was like sub 2-3 for Brito and KO 2-3 for Allen. Just throwing like $10 on it. But yeah, I like the round 2, round 3 for Allen.
Yeah, I mean, I gave this out to the Discord. Round 2, round 3, plus 550, plus 800. I know the lines are not great, but KO2 is 17-1 and KO3 is 22-1. He can. I mean, Allen throws ground and pound. He throws good ground and pound when he gets on top. It's just the thing is, I think Shabazian's probably not probably, he's the best one-round fighter in MMA. He has not lost a single round 1 in his MMA career. Like, he's won every single round 1. It's crazy. He always wins round 1, and that's because he is a very skilled fighter, and when he has cardio, he's really good. He can defend takedowns. He can strike. He's got good movement. He's got good defense, right? Everything. He has everything in his game when he has cardio. But then, the 7-minute mark starts, and there's no cardio anymore. It's gone. He's exhausted, right? And Allen said that, I don't remember if he said they sparred before, but he was kind of familiar with each other or whatever. I don't know if he meant to say like we've sparred before. I don't know. But he literally knows the game plan. He literally said, I know he's a dangerous fighter early. I know that he could potentially knock me out early. The guy hits hard. He's a very good striker. He's very dangerous early. He goes, but I'm going to be in his face. I'm going to mix in striking, grappling. And I know this guy's game. I know that he gets tired later in fights. He literally said that. He knows this guy gets tired. And he's like, I will finish this guy in a big way and make a statement, blah, blah, blah. I just think, this type of fight is bad for Edmund, because if Brandon Allen does what he does and pushes the paces in your face like he was against Vettori, and he mixes in the grappling, which is key here, Shabazian's going to gas, man. He's just going to gas. And it's I think the small cage helps Allen a lot here. Closing distance easier, getting closer, getting in the clinch. I don't think it's going to be easy. He's going to go through some fire, in my opinion, because Shabazian's a very good fighter. He's a very good striker. He hits hard, and he can defensively, wrestle when he's fresh. It's not easy to take down this guy. I don't think Brendan Allen is going to have any success taking down Edmund while he's fresh. No chance, in my opinion. He's not going to take him down. But as he starts to slow down and his cardio starts to zap and his strength starts to zap, I think Allen can have his way. So that's why I went with 2-3. Obviously, probably more sub than KO, but I think KO is really live from ground and pound. Like, it really could be. You know, he was pounding on the Ritter like crazy in that fight, you know. So it's 17 and 22 to 1. I just like the prices, you know. Like the prices. Anyways, before we go on to the main event, please, guys, like, subscribe, hit the notification button, comment, do all of that good stuff. Get our algorithm up here on my channel. It's 350 live viewers. I appreciate all of you. Again, I'm on vacation with the family, but I'm like, I have to do the show. I can't go on without doing the show. Everybody's asking me, so I'm like, yeah, why not? Let's run it. We've been on a streak. I have to shout out my Discord. Been on a tear, man. I'm up, I don't know, probably close to 60 units this year on all my track plays in there. BKFC, absolute insanity every week with BKFC. I swept the board yesterday. 2 huge dogs, a plus money parlay. Almost hit a PRP, 11 leg PRP. I missed it by 1 yesterday, 317 to 1. So we're getting so close on those. Every freaking BKFC card, I miss it by 1. But anyways, I appreciate everybody in here. Please like, subscribe. Again, if you want to join the Discord, the best 25 you can ever spend. With that being said, it's the main event time, Tim, and it is in the men's welterweight division. It is the 24-5 Bilal Muhammad versus the 19-1 Gabriel Bonfim, and I will kick this one off. Very good main event, man. Very good main event, because I thought I was going to bet Muhammad, and I said, you know what? Muhammad, this is a fight, a 5-round fight, main event. He should be good here. But I did, after watching tape, have a lot of concerns for Muhammad, man. Bonfim is impressive, man. He moves really well. He hits hard. He's got great calf kicks, exceptional calf kicks. The thing about his calf kicks, man, there's no tell to them. They're super fast, and they're fucking hard as hell. And honestly, I will tell you, I think he's one of the best calf kickers in all of MMA. Like, it's just so fast, so hard, and there's like no tell to it, man. And we saw Bilal get his leg kind of chopped off against Gary, man. And that's my biggest concern for him here, man. Early, he's going to go through a storm. He's going to get hit on the feet. You know, when he goes to shoot or whatever, this guy has very good timing on his knees. There's just a lot of parts of Gabriel's game that fit well early against Bilal, right? Like, all this stuff is going to be working for him early. Now, there's some things that are working against him as well. The small cage, it's working against him, in my opinion. You know, Bilal gets to kind of get him to the fence. He's good there at the fence, you know. And it's not so much that Bilal, you know, could get takedowns early and make it look easy early. I think it's more so that Bilal, like, maybe wears on him early, right? The one big aspect here for Bonfim is that if he's engaged in grappling early and Bilal making him work, right, in general, this guy's going to get tired. I'm telling you right now, when round 3 comes, round 4 comes, he's going to be exhausted, right? But to get to those positions, you're going to probably get hit. You're probably going to get your leg fucking cracked 3 or 4 times with big leg kicks. So those are big concerns for me on the Bilal side, you know. But on the other hand, like I said, like, 5 rounds is a concern for Bonfim. You know, if you're not getting your leg kicks off, if you're not able to stuff takedowns in round 2, you know, and he's getting you down and he's making you work, it's going to look very bad for you in rounds 3, 4, 5, right? And Bilal has to know the game plan. He said he knows the game plan. He said he's going to have to grapple this guy and wear on him. And you know, he's going to need to switch stances a lot here, in my opinion. Switch to southpaw, switch to orthodox, back and forth. Try to confuse this guy, right? I mean, when these lines are there for Bilal, and I know he's not the biggest finisher, but I've seen Bonfim just absolutely gas in some of these fights, man. It's 19, 25, and 27 to 1, rounds 3, 4, 5. I have to play him. I'll be honest with you. I think Bonfim is very, very live to finish Bilal in the first couple of rounds. I really do. I think he can finish him early because he hits hard. He's very dangerous with his knees, and those leg kicks, man. Those leg kicks are if that my biggest concern for 345 too is that if his leg is compromised, he's gonna have a hard time getting takedowns even late. That's the other concern in this fight for Bilal. So I don't really like a money line here. I don't know which it's flipped now. Line's flipped. I could see why. I think early success is probably Bonfim. So yeah, but 345. I mean, big numbers. I gotta take a sprinkle. Tim?
Yeah, this fight is quite obvious for me, like on the props to give out for Lambos. I ended up on around 345 for Bilal as well. You know who also is just not a known finisher is Nicholas Dalby. That dude isn't he's not finishing his morning coffee normally in fights and just looked like an absolute fucking killer versus Bonfim. And it's the same thing. Like Bonfim almost had Dalby out in that fight and kind of went gave everything he could to try to finish him, and that was it. And I think that that was more of an offensive, you know, adrenaline dump. But I think this is going to be more of a defensive adrenaline dump that he's going to have to just keep defending the clinch and defending takedowns and trying to get up. I think if there's early success with takedowns, you know for sure that Bonfim's going to jump Gilly like early in this fight. Like that's almost guaranteed that it's his favorite. It's like legit his favorite move. And if he doesn't catch Bilal, and Bilal hasn't been subbed in his career, like if he doesn't catch it, I could see him obviously catching him in the sub. Like it's his best move. He's got a very tight squeeze. He's very good with it, no doubt. But if he doesn't get it, then he's putting himself on bottom early in the fight, and like that's where he's gonna try to then get up, and then he's gonna be rinsing and repeating the same thing. And after the first takedown and the second and third takedown, it's just gonna be you're gonna see this guy just huffing and puffing, I think. And then I think it becomes harder and harder to get his game off. Like you said, the kicks are one of the biggest concerns. I do think that Bilal has shown like just pretty solid durability. I think, as you said, he should switch his stances. He switched stances in his second fight against Luque and went southpaw and just confused the shit out of Luque, who struggles when fighters do that. Um, I think you have one of the smartest fighters in Bilal who understands the game plans, except for if he's defending his title versus Jack Dillon in Atlanta. Um, Outside of that fight, he's usually one of the smartest, most reliable fighters in MMA, and he's super durable as well. And he typically has got very good cardio. Is going to fight for your money. So to me, it's 345 Bilal all day and waiting to live bet uh, as well instead of taking him pre.
Yeah, I think he's probably a better life bet, honestly, Bilal. I think he probably drops round one at a pretty decent clip. And then from there, probably, you could see that other thing is for me is like I could see how compromised he is as far as his leg or something like that. If Bonfim is really having a lot of success early. But yeah, I mean, I'm not live betting here. I'm in Chicago. I'm going to be at a wedding tomorrow, so I'm not even going to get to watch the card live. But yeah, I think that's it. All 12 fights. Lambo parlay time. I got two of them, Tim. Got two Lambo parlays. The first one I like a lot. Um, it's a combo deal of Allen and Brito 2-3 combo. Mix and match. I think you can get from like 44 up to like 80 to 1, roughly, something like that. I like that. I like those two. I think that combo can definitely hit. The other one I have is ZM decision, Luna decision, Cachoeira decision, 60 to 1.
All right, yeah, I have McGee by decision, ZM by decision, and Iwo sub is 37 to 1.
Yeah, I don't mind that one either. Um, Yeah, I appreciate everybody. 380 live viewers. Thank you to everybody. Thank you for the donation, dissection. Again, if you guys want to get in the Discord, it's pumping. Um, it's grown so much. I mean, I don't know. We're close to over 400 members now. It's just a lot of good stuff going on in there. Winning, a lot of winning. Bankrolls are getting boosted. I mean, there's so many stories I can go on and on and on about people in there, but it's an amazing community. So if you want to be a part of it, I didn't put a link today in the thing just because again, you can go to my Twitter account, NarcoCop at NarcoCop. The link is there in my Twitter bio. Um, Also, someone asked about Rumble stream. I didn't link it today because I'm on vacation. I couldn't do the Rumble stream, so I'll do it once I get back to Chicago for next week. It's the White House card. It's a huge card. I will be leaving for Vegas on that day, but obviously we're gonna do the show. Um, we're gonna do a special show for that on Friday. It's gonna be a lengthy one. Probably not gonna have a bunch of great Lambo plays, honestly, but we can just break down that card in general. I mean, it's a hyped card. I don't think it's the best card, but it's just a lot of big names on it. You know, big names, people, all eyes on it. You know, it's a big card. So we're gonna have to do a special show. Maybe give out. I don't know. We're gonna have to give out something for that show. We'll see what you know. But again, thank you very much to everybody. Tim, appreciate you, my man. Um, Good luck tomorrow to everybody. You got any parting words, Tim?
No, sir. Love you guys all very much.
All right. One last thing, Tim. Let's cash those tickets for UFC Vegas 118.